Something is already moving. And if you're feeling strange today, unsettled, uncertain, alert without knowing why, you're not imagining it. You're sensing a frequency most people still can't detect. It's subtle, silent, but powerful, and it's folding time around itself. Because we've entered a narrow passage, a moment suspended between what was and what's about to be. And in this passage, the next 24 hours hold more weight than they appear to. You may notice a rising tension beneath your skin, memories returning with new meanings, sudden exhaustion or alertness with no cause, the sense that something is coming, but you can't name it. This isn't coincidence. It's contact, energetic contact from a force that doesn't operate through noise, but through alignment. And right now, the field is aligning. Not gradually, not gently, but decisively. Which means this isn't a time to wait. It isn't a time to distract yourself. It's a time to notice, to feel, to prepare. Because once this energy locks into place, it will ripple through every area of your life, especially the ones where you've stayed asleep. And what you do now, what you notice, what you choose, what you release, will define which version of reality you align with. This is not a metaphor. This is not theory. This is now. And if you're watching this, it means you've already been marked to receive the signal. So stay with me, because what's coming next is already here. There's a reason this shift feels different. It's not just emotional. It's not just mental. It's energetic and it's cosmic. Right now, unseen alignments are locking into position, not loud, not destructive, but precise. This is a calibration, a high-frequency moment designed to push certain energies into balance and collapse others entirely. It's not a portal you walk through. It's one you vibrate into. Because what's arriving isn't just change, it's a restructuring of frequency. In the sky, celestial bodies are forming angular tensions. Astrologers see this as pressure. Mystics recognize it as activation. When these angles hit just right, they behave like tuning forks, sending out pulses that shake loose anything that no longer resonates with who you're becoming. And when that pulse reaches you, you don't just feel off, you begin to shed. Habits that once felt comfortable start to feel heavy. People who once made sense suddenly fall silent in your life. Desires shift, focus breaks, emotions surface seemingly out of nowhere. This is your body, your field, your intuition trying to keep up with the frequency spike. And here's what makes this moment unique. This energy doesn't just shift what's on the surface, it travels backward. It reactivates the dormant codes you've been carrying, codes you've inherited from other lifetimes, from ancient timelines, from soul contracts that were written long before this body was born. And for a brief window, just a breath in cosmic time, those codes begin to awaken. But awakening isn't passive. It's not soft. It disrupts. It agitates. It pulls the truth to the surface. Fast. So if you felt like you're unraveling lately, if your sleep has been disrupted, if your heart has been racing without cause, if your dreams are suddenly more vivid or symbolic, you're not breaking. You're synchronizing. And the universe is watching to see how you respond. Will you reach for distraction? Or will you listen? Because what comes next depends on what you choose to do with this awareness. Ignore the whispers, and you'll feel the pressure intensify. Lean in, and you'll discover what this moment was always meant to unlock. A new version of you. Not built through effort, but through resonance. You say you're tired. But what if it's not your body? What if it's your soul, exhausted from carrying versions of you that were never real? What if the heaviness isn't life weighing you down, but truth trying to rise through everything you've buried? Ask yourself, where have you been pretending it's fine when it's not? What are you still holding on to just because letting go feels too uncertain? Who do you keep becoming to be loved, accepted, or just tolerated? These aren't comfortable questions. They're not meant to be. They're meant to crack the shell of the identity that no longer fits. Because the discomfort you're feeling right now, that quiet tension in your chest, the sudden wave of restlessness, the strange grief that has no name, it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something false is dissolving. Your soul knows, and it's done waiting. You've outgrown your old coping mechanisms. You've outgrown the narratives that made you smaller just so others could be comfortable. You've outgrown the timeline that required your silence to stay stable, but you still keep choosing it. Why? Because it's familiar? Because it's predictable? Because it doesn't require you to be fully seen? And yet, here you are, awakening in a world that's rearranging itself around your truth. Everything that no longer aligns is starting to collapse. And not because you're failing, but because your energy is finally refusing to be confined. You're being stripped, not punished. You're being emptied, not abandoned. You're being asked to stand in the raw space between identities and say, I don't fully know who I am yet, but I'm done being who I'm not. That is the true threshold, the one that has no roadmap, no applause, no guarantees. Only silence, only presence, only the burning question. Will you stop performing? Will you stop choosing what looks safe on the outside but leaves you hollow on the inside? Because here's the truth no one tells you. Healing isn't always gentle. Awakening isn't always light. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is walk away. From the job, from the friendship, from the mask. Sometimes truth doesn't whisper. Sometimes it tears through you like a storm and leaves you bare so you can finally rebuild on real ground. So ask yourself, what does freedom actually look like for you? Beneath all the stories you've been told, what are you willing to lose in order to finally come home to yourself? What if the version of you you're most afraid to be is actually the one you were always meant to become? And what if these next 24 hours are your last chance to choose her? This is the part most people avoid, not because they don't want change, but because they don't want to let go of who they had to become to survive. But survival isn't the same as alignment, and safety isn't the same as truth. So ask yourself right now, who are you without the pain? Without the pressure? Without the mask? Can you even remember? Because this shift, this moment, isn't here to give you more of the same. It's here to take, to strip, to remove the scaffolding you built around your light just to make others feel comfortable. It will ask you to leave relationships that no longer nourish you. It will ask you to walk away from roles that no longer serve you. It will ask you to disappoint the version of you that lived for other people's approval. And in exchange, it gives you something terrifying. Yourself. Your real self. Not the curated one. Not the one shaped by trauma. Not the one who smiled while breaking inside. The version of you that knows how to listen before reacting. That trusts intuition over instruction. That doesn't need to be told what's true because she can feel it in her bones. But to live as her, you have to choose her. Not once. Every day. Every moment. When the fear rises, choose her. When the old stories pull, choose her. When your nervous system panics and screams, this is too much. Breathe and choose her again. Because the old you was never broken. She was exhausted from carrying a frequency that didn't belong to her. Now is your chance to lay that frequency down, to stop matching the energy of people who benefit from your dimness, to stop building a life around survival strategies that are no longer necessary. This is not a time for perfection. It's a time for presence, for radical honesty, for the kind of power that doesn't shout but radiates. You don't need to know how the story ends. You just need to stop pretending you're still asleep. The moment you decide, fully, with your body, your voice, your vibration, that you are no longer available for a life that dishonors your soul, that's when the shift meets you. That's when the path clears. That's when the right people appear. That's when your next timeline locks into place. But you have to say it, out loud, to the universe, to your spirit team, to the version of you that's still scared. Say it, I'm not going back. Say it again, I choose myself, no matter what I lose. Say it until your nervous system starts to believe you. Because this isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering someone ancient, someone sacred, someone that already lives in you. She's been waiting, she's watching, and right now, so is the universe. Now that you've remembered who you are, it's time to live like it. Not in grand gestures, not in radical detours, but in the quiet, sacred discipline of alignment. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the frequency you embody consistently. Here's how you anchor that frequency in the next 24 hours. 1. Wake with intention, not reaction, before your feet hit the ground, before the phone, the to-do list, the outside world. Place your hand on your heart and say, I choose to live from my truth today. That's it. You're not manifesting something big. You're aligning with something real. Let your first energy of the day be self-honoring, not self-abandoning. 2. Cleanse your field gently. You don't need a sage stick or sound bowl, though they help. Sometimes All you need is clear water and full presence. As you shower or wash your face, whisper, I release what isn't mine. I keep only what serves my truth. Make cleansing a ritual. Let the physical mirror the energetic. Water is a frequency conductor. Use it like the medicine it is. 3. Feel before you speak today. Pause before every reply. Ask yourself, is this coming from reaction or resonance? Words are creative spells, and right now, every sentence you speak carries more frequency than usual. Choose consciously. Speak slowly. Breathe between words. Let silence speak for you when truth isn't yet ready. 4. Listen to the pull, not the plan. That tight, rigid schedule you made, it might not apply anymore. In the next 24 hours, you'll feel gentle nudges. Take a walk here. Cancel that call. Move your body differently. Write something out of nowhere. Reach out to someone unexpected. These are not distractions. They're realignments. Follow them. The soul speaks in impulse, not instruction. 5. Write before you sleep. Anchor the timeline. Before you go to bed, grab paper. Not a phone, not a laptop, paper. And write one thing you let go of today. One thing that surprised you. One truth you're ready to carry forward. Then seal it with a phrase. I am available only for what honors who I'm becoming. Sleep with that spell in your field. Let the night integrate what the day revealed. 6. Eat like your frequency matters. This is not a diet tip, it's an energy attunement. Before consuming anything, ask, is this food frequency bringing me clarity or contraction? Sometimes that means more water. Sometimes that means something grounding. Sometimes that means fasting and just breathing. Your body is recalibrating. Treat it like the altar it is. 7. Be still. Even for 3 minutes, when the world speeds up, slow down. Sit, eyes closed, spine long, hands open, and simply ask, what truth is trying to reach me right now? Don't expect words, expect resonance. Stillness is not passive. It is where the most sacred guidance becomes audible. This is how you live a shift, not by force, not by spectacle, but by devotion. You've already crossed a threshold. Now it's time to stabilize the frequency. So breathe deeply, walk gently, speak softly. You're not just surviving this energy. You're anchoring it. You made it. Through the silence, through the friction, through the part where most people turn away. That alone means something. It means the version of you that's been waiting to rise finally has room to breathe. But this moment, this shift, was never just about you. It was about all of us. Because whether you know it or not, you are part of a larger frequency, a hidden network of awakened ones. People across the world who, just like you, have felt the same pull, heard the same whisper, faced the same inner fire. And now we remember. We remember that it was never about waiting for the world to change. It was about choosing to change our response to it, to stop reacting in fear, to stop shrinking for approval, to stop betraying our intuition just to feel safe. The old world is still loud, still calling, still selling comfort wrapped in illusion. But you are choosing something else. You are choosing alignment, even when it's inconvenient, even when it costs relationships, habits, or parts of yourself you once thought were essential. And in doing that, you're not just shifting your life, you're sending ripples through the grid. Because every soul that aligns becomes a beacon, and every beacon lights the path for another. That is how the real shift spreads, not through panic, not through prophecy, but through presence. So if you feel it, if your heart has been stirred, if your cells are buzzing with something ancient and wordless, say it in your own words, in your own time. But say it. Drop a comment. Let the algorithm carry your energy further than your voice ever could. Write, I'm remembering. I'm awake. I choose truth. I'm in. Not because you need to be seen, but because when we anchor together, we strengthen the field. And this field, this invisible frequency of truth, courage, surrender, and rebirth, is the real revolution. If this moment resonated with you, if it stirred something real, don't drift back into noise. Stay close. There's more coming, not just in this channel, but in you. You're opening, unfolding, returning, and this is only the beginning.